All right, so now what we have is the philodendron moonlight right here. We talked about this plant before. This plant is pretty much self-explanatory. Very easy to care for this plant. Doesn't require a whole lot, but I am still just learning what type of moisture that it needs because I did move this room around probably about like a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months. And still, I find myself still twisting lights when they do come on in the afternoon time, making sure it's shining right. The plant seems to be waking up. I don't have direct light on it. As you could tell, nothing is directly beaming on the head of it. And it looks like the plant is trying to wake up some. It has this window over here to get this light naturally. And then this lights come on around about like 4 or 5 o'clock p.m. and it's on for about 4 hours. Nothing else over here requires any type of major care. This is my very easy section over here. I don't need any water in there. That plant's fine. Now, I will go ahead and disclose with you, I do have some mealy bugs going on over here. So without really knowing a lot about plants, let me show you. Take a look at this. You see the leaf shape? You see how they look full, how it just looks healthy? Take a look at this one. This is a sure giveaway to let you know that your plant is thirsty, is dehydrated, is dry. Leaves start to wrinkle all the way up. Now, this is still a good time to catch your plant like this. Now, if it starts drying all the way up and crispy, you done went too far. But this is like, hey, let me go ahead and get it some water. Now, there is a huge difference between overwatering your plant and watering your plant. And people get it confused. When you water your plant, you're supposed to let the water drain from the top all the way to the bottom. Let the water come out. When you're watering your plant, water should start coming out the bottom. That's when you know your plant has been fully replenished and is good to go. Since this pot right here doesn't have an undercare under here, I'm going to pick this plant up and take it to the sink and water this one. But all the rest of them, of course, we're just going to be watering the bottom part. Now, I am going to get up here with the step stool and take a look just to kind of see if I have, with the mealy bugs, if it's any type of problem, like they're completely just a big breakout, or if that 1 and that 2 yellow leaf is just a yellow leaf that needs to go. All right, so the problem of the yellowing going up in here has nothing to do with mealy bugs. The plant's completely dry up here too. Now I do see a mealy bug up here. So what we're gonna do with the dryness of this plant and all, I say let's just restart this plant, right? Why not? Why not? You didn't get a chance to see it. I thought I was recording the whole time, but we're just restarting over with this plant. Let's see if we have any other plants. If we have any other plants that have mealy bugs, we just gonna cut. We're gonna get rid of all the plants that have any type of mealy bug. We just gonna cut it and let it start fresh again. So, unfortunately, I did have to get rid of a lot of my plants, but it's okay because I'm now going to be able to grow some healthier plants. Now, I still don't know exactly what I'm going to do depending on the stuff that I'm able to go get. I do know that most likely by the plants being at that length, I could really get in there and really take care of those mealy bugs. Nothing's under the leaf. That's the one thing that I found is that when you are taking care of mealy bugs and the plant does have leaves, a lot of times if you peel that leaf off or peel it down, you'll see a mealy bug right there. And that often gets by when you're treating your plants. So I just wanted a fresh start. I don't care nothing about the plant being gone. I just don't want this to become a problem. And I'm going to alleviate it. Next, I'm going to wipe down this whole area here. I'm going to get some Clorox wipes, wipe them all the way down. And then I'm going to move those, those philodendrons that I had that I felt like they just won't get seen. I'm actually going to go ahead and move them over here and let them take over some of this space since my plants are no longer sitting here. This plant did not have mealy bugs at all. It does need some water though. It's crazy how some plants can be around certain things and never get affected, and other plants will be around it and or won't even be close to it and get it. So this right here is my Schinapsis pison. I don't want to open them up right now just because I've been touching plants over here and I don't want to get this plant contaminated. But as you can see, here is Schinapsis pison. I was told just to keep them inside of here for humidity problems that I'm having right now. And as they get older and mature, I should be able to get rid of that. They're going to have to because they're going to have to grow out the bag. Although I did have a Philodendron Columbia that just refused to do good. So sometimes it's like that. This is a Syngonium tricolor. If I could ever get this plant growing the right way, it really would be beautiful, but I just can't figure it out. I just forget about the plant, move it somewhere, something happens. Again, taking a look at this plant, I do not see any mealy bugs on this plant either. But I am going to go ahead still and give it treatment just in case. But this plant is so small and it also doesn't have any leaves. I mean, something could be hiding down there. It could be. It's just too early to tell. And with this plant only being a couple of leaves, it'll be all right. Now, it'll suck if it has it in there, but we're just going to treat it and go from there. I'm going to go ahead and give it some water so we don't forget about it, though. And we'll put that right there. All right, so the only thing we have left here, right here, and this has absolutely no mealy bugs at all. None of my heart leaf got mealy bugs. Is it something that I don't know about? The pothos got them, but the heart leaves didn't. I don't know. So, all right, and this right here is what I'm using. This is just a Walmart brand. You can get any brand you want. Okay, so while we're cleaning this, let's talk a little bit about how did we get here. All right, so we got here off of not doing preventive maintenance. Basically, I had one mealy bug and I kind of just let that plant slide, hoping that it would cure itself on its own, and it didn't. And when it got to the point where it got crazy, I took the plant out the room and tried to treat it, right? The plant never 100% got treated. Even after I sectioned it, eventually I had to throw it away. But do you know what happened in the time of me doing that? It allowed mealy bugs to spread to every pothos that I possibly had. So this is just the residual effect really of a year or so. So probably one of the most tedious parts of moving a plant is making sure you can move all the plant without damaging any of the plant. But there's always a part of a plant sometimes that seems to get overlooked. Well, hopefully this time it don't have to be it and we can get it right. Oh, we got it right, guys. We got it right. All right. And now you can take a look at this plant. You will never know the size of this plant because I never take it from behind. But yeah, it does what it wants to do. Again, guys, this right here, I'm such a big fan of this because you can use it for your plants, for anything, for tying it around stakes, for tying around things in the room. And that's definitely what this is going to be used for. Since this piece right here is just so long, what I'm going to do is just put this plant like this. Again, guys, when you've been doing it this long, you just find ways that work for your plant. It would be insane to try to go and buy a whole brand new plant stand and all that for one plant. Now, if it's multiple plants and it's not working, that's one thing. We're going to go ahead and put these plants over here. I don't know exactly where they're going to go. Let's take a look here. The soil inside of here is really dry, even though it has water in there. And it looks like it's time for this plant to get staked up on something. All right, so check this out, guys. Before you say something to me, we could not continue to record in the condition that the room was going. But I had to switch the whole room around. I did everything I could possibly do to try to record as much as I can, but it just got to the point where I really just had to get in there and just go to work. But I am going to show you the results of it. Okay, so the room got moved around. I put my philodendrons up here. Remember, I had them all over here, and I was saying I didn't know what I was going to do with them. Well, boom, we figured it out. Now, I still have to get in here and get my scissors and do a few cuttings, because just from the light and the sun and dryness and all this, and it's actually time for me to fertilize this plant. I have not even watered it yesterday, and it needs a good drinking. I could tell. It's leaning like that because I had it over here by the window, and so it just started climbing towards the window. Now I have to use a grow light on here. So the grow light I'll be using is right here. And what I'm going to do is just move that from there, put it right in front of this space, and just let it shine there at night. Yes, it's going to be a couple of nights that I may forget to put it there, but for the most part, it should still be fine. I do have a light to just shine over here somewhat over the crown, just to help me out on some of those nights that I do forget. But this plant will still be fine. This is a really just good look for this. I don't have to worry about it overshadowing any other plants, and it's just the right size. I also got rid of that green. I can show it to y'all. This right here. I got rid of this. I just didn't see a need for it. It just made the room look a little bit junky, so we got that done. Let's get over. Okay, so the moonlight is now over here, and the scindapsus that was sitting over there, sorry, not trying to make you dizzy, is now over here. It's going to be the perfect spot for over here. I do have grow lights over here to be able to help make up for some of the light that does not come out there. I have the dragon tail that I just put up on this moss, and we're just going to see what's going to happen. It's actually crazy the way I repotted that plant. It was straight up in a container like this, and basically what I did when I repotted it, the pot had to be big enough to allow me to kind of turn it like this, and that's the way that I potted it down and built around there, so that way I can get it to climb straight up. And I'm hoping that the tail is just going to keep on climbing, and we go from there. It is a blank gap, unfortunately, between there, but if I can go ahead and get the tail going, after I get about 2 or 3 tails on it height, then I'll just go ahead and cut it, repot it. Then I'll just cut this part all the way down just to give it another fresh start. So that's the plan. I also moved my philodendron marble queen reverted. I moved that back. I don't know if you all seen the marble queen, but they are really, really pretty. Well, this one had reverted, so that's why I got it on sale. And I'll just keep hoping one day it's going to revert back to being reverted. But we'll see. Over here, this is where I moved the orange marmalade that was sitting over here. I just moved over here and gave her a space. Same with this plant. Now, I'm hoping that by me moving my El Choco Red, which is right here, over here, that it's going to allow... I just don't know if it's a El Choco Red, because their leaves are a little bit more rounded, you know. These are just coming to a tip, so I don't know. But over here, we're just seeing how the plant is going to do and how it's going to adapt, because this plant was doing amazing right there. So if it becomes a problem, I will stick it right on back over there and figure out what to do with him. He's a big boy too. I did not have to touch none of them on stairs, so we're good on there. And guys, I never like to show my junk pit over here, but that's all. Always. All right. And this right here is where all of my trellis plants are at. Guys, I went in there and just realized that most of my plants did have mealy bugs in it. And I'm just sick and tired of dealing with mealy bugs. So I just wanted to go ahead and just cut and get a fresh start on some things. And that's exactly what I did. So So on that, now the Hoya did have some mealy bugs as well. I sprayed her all the way down, and I'm gonna keep an eye on her. And the reason why I want to make sure I keep an eye on is because I don't want her to have mealy bugs, and then when my new plants come back, we start having that. But these will not start making a change probably until maybe 2 weeks, that I might start to see a little spark up. I hope so, because guys, I'm hoping that with it having some really good light on top of these plants, it should do really good and grow really fast. And I get to have some good content, you know, just to update you all on what's going on and update my Instagram as well. All right. And that's what we had going on in the plant room this week. You all, please like, comment, subscribe. Really get down there in them comments and let me know what you think of this. I was a little bit hesitant on whether I was going to do an hour-long video because it just could be too long, or I would break it up. I realized that trying to get you all videos 2 or 3 times a week means I might not have nothing to say. And who wants to listen to somebody mumble? So I'm hoping that if we could just love these weekly updates, this would be something that could just be jam-packed and something you can look forward to. And you know, during the week, I also post a lot of shorts just to, you know, feed out so you all get to know what's going on in the room. But anyway, that's all I got. Y'all take care.